What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western Europe Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Genesee Brewing Company, and they are out of Rochester, New York. And this is their Tropical Pineapple Kölsch, and this is the 2022 release. So they are calling this one a Kolsch style blonde ale with natural flavors. It comes in at 4.5% alcohol by volume, 8 IBU, and at the time of review, this can is just under 1 month old. So this is the newest specialty seasonal release from Genesee, and I don't say there's a lot of hype because, you know, it's Genesee. But as far as people who enjoy Genesee and enjoy Ruby Red Kolsch from them, there's a lot of hype. And I am one of those people buying into the hype because when it comes to Genesee, they are my favorite cheaper beer breweries. Like, they just are. Not cheap as in quality, cheap as in price point. The value is through the roof. And Ruby Red Kolsch is a delicious spring summer beer. And they brought this one out. Now, I feel like I'm going to enjoy this one more. Why? Because I like pineapple more than I do Ruby Red Grapefruit. But I'm also worried a lot of times when you see natural flavors or natural pineapple flavor or whatever, I feel like there's going to be like a candied sweet pineapple kind of thing going on. Hopefully, if so, it's not too sweet. Because with this, I feel like I want to super crush it and I don't want it to be overly sweet. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to try it. So I can't wait to get into this one. I wish I could have reviewed this one earlier for you guys, but you know, the channel was on hiatus for a while, and just bringing it back now. And I knew this is one of the first beers that I wanted to review. That smells. See, so here's the thing. I love it, but I don't. That smells like a pineapple lifesaver to me. I used to love pineapple lifesavers. Not only pineapple lifesavers, but that was my favorite of the lifesavers. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to see. I hope it's not too candied. I hope there's still, you know, the Kolsch underneath. That's what I love about the Ruby Red, is that the Kolsch was still underneath everything. Like, you could still, I don't know why I'm switching it. You could still get the Kolsch underneath it, right? And I'm hoping that's the case here, that I can still taste the base Kolsch, but with like a nice, you know, pineapple kind of flavor. Now, that looks beautiful. That you know, has some chill haze on it because it's kind of starting to get warm, you know, almost approaching summer here. But that's beautiful. That looks like a Kolsch, about just over a finger of a bright white, really beautiful looking head. Has that like straw yellow kind of color, super clear, clarity's through the roof. That looks beautiful. Beautiful, picturesque beer, at least to me. Anyways, get knows. Yeah, so that's cool. I get that, like, pineapple. Now, I want to keep on saying Jolly Rancher, but no, pineapple lifesaver. And underneath it is this nice, like, slightly grainy, biscuity kind of like malt sensation. Maybe a touch of lemon. Now, I did not watch anybody else's reviews. I've seen people, you know, post on Untapped every night. I go through my Untapped friends list and, you know, toast everybody and see what they're drinking. But I haven't been watching beer tubers, so I apologize to everybody out there, all my fellow beer tubers, if you've not seen me comment over the past 6 weeks or so. Going through that health issues and being on hiatus a lot of times, watching beer tube kind of, you know, it makes me a little bit depressed because I can't drink anything. And so I'm going to start getting back in everybody's reviews. I've seen a lot of fellow beer tubers, not a lot. I've seen the guys over at FLX post this. I think they did a side-by-side with this and Ruby Red. Really want to watch that one. And I'm just curious to know what other people think about it. But, like, seriously, 100% pineapple lifesavers. But that Kolsch is underneath it. It smells exactly like I thought it would. My only thing is it going to be too sweet? If it's going to be too sweet, it's going to detract from the beer, and I hope it isn't. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. It's not too sweet. So it's to me, it's sweeter than the Ruby Red. Oh, but I love that the finish is Kolsch through and through. Yeah, I like this a lot. Oh, that's real nice. This is the definition of a summer crusher. You look up summer crusher in a dictionary, this beer is going to be right next to it. No, it's not, but it should be. Body on this one, for 4.5%, it has a low medium body to it, which is nice. A little bit bigger. It's not thin. It's not watery, but it's not too big where it gets in the way of what a summer crusher should be. Like, I feel like a summer crusher should be light body, but not like watery. And I think that this beer has achieved that. The mouthfeel, super crisp. It's really clean too on the back end. Spritzy on the tongue. Crisp, clean, super refreshing, beautiful. The taste, it's funny because I feel like the beer kind of sets me up for what I think is going to be disappointment. A lot of times, the nose can do that, and then you drink it like, oh man, it's too sweet. Right at the beginning, I'm hit with that Lifesaver pineapple kind of feel to it. And then it has that like candied kind of essence to it, but that dissipates throughout the palate, and then it transitions into the Kolsch. So what I think is happening here for me specifically is that front half is that candied pineapple, that pineapple Lifesaver flavor without the sweetness is happening at the front of the palate. If it had like a sweetness one of those candies have, I think it would throw the balance of this beer completely off, but I think it works so well that right at the front of the palate, that pineapple character is unmistakable. It's so noticeable, but halfway through the palate, it has dissipated to something that's just like remnants of that flavor on your tongue. And then the Kolsch comes to the forefront. It's grainy, biscuity. There's a little bit of like a floral kind of thing going on too from the hops. It finishes semi-dry, very lightly bitter kind of finish to it, but I think the dryness is the thing that's kind of balancing it a little bit more. And then the back of the palate, it's really clean. If I have any kind of lingering kind of flavor, it's that Kolsch, that like slight grainy, biscuity, bready thing. And that's it. Yeah, this to me, this is better than the Ruby Red. For what I'm looking for in a low ABV crusher, again, check mark because I like pineapple more than Ruby Red Grapefruit. And then on top of that, I think it's integrated just as well as that beer. So I think I gave the Ruby Red Grapefruit like a 4. This is going to get a little bit higher. So I'm going to give, and again, I'm not taking everything into consideration. I'm just taking as what I think this beer should be. Like a lot of times people will rate to style. I typically don't. I rate to enjoyability. For what this beer is and what I'm hoping for, it's really good. So Tropical Pineapple Kölsch from Genesee. That's going to get a high 4.25 out of 5. This is 4.3 out of 5. That's, again, I could see a lot of people drinking this one and just not being down with that candied pineapple kind of flavor and not enjoying this as much as the Ruby Red. But I should have done a side-by-side like FLX, but I am a terrible beer tuber and I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. But obviously, I shouldn't be drinking 2 beers at once a lot. I mean, sometimes I'll do side-by-sides, and 4.5%, I think that's fair. Again, 4.5%, you can't even tell. It's such an easy drinking beer. But I think if I did a side-by-side, this would win out every time just because, again, I like the fruit in this better than the fruit in the Ruby Red. But I think it's so well integrated and cohesive, and it's just, it's tasty. Price and availability. Here is where this beer shines. You can get 12 packs of this, typically between $9 to $11, depending on where you shop in their distribution footprint. Typically in my area, $9.99 for a 12 pack. Some places you'll see sometimes $8.99. I believe they also sometimes will have like rebates where you get like $5 off. So you're talking that you get this get like for $5. Like, for less than $1 a can, this is worth it. And people look at Genesee and they think, again, like I said in the beginning, cheap beer. It's not cheap beer in quality. This is a value beer. You're going to pay less than $1 a can, but you're going to get your value. 100% it's worth it. And if you get Genesee in your neck of the woods, you owe it to yourself to try this, especially if you like Kolsch or pineapple or both. This is going to be your jam because it's mine. 4.3 out of 5. Really good fucking beer. I love it. It's super tasty. So not much more to say about this one. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Again, distribution footprint with Jenny. If you see Jenny's, especially if you see the Ruby Red Kolsch, you should see this at some point. So keep that in mind. But there's not much more to say about it. I want to hear from you. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section, let me know, because I think I'm going to buy a 12-pack of this. I think for me, with everything going on health-wise and whatnot, I think a beer like this is perfect. It's low ABV, not going to get in trouble. I could drink a couple of them, and I just love the flavor. This is like a beautiful barbecue, poolside, party kind of beer. It is what it is. So anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers. Oh yeah, check back next Wednesday for another Western York Wednesday. I actually have 2 or 3 beers on hand. I'm not going to say what they are, but you'll see them soon enough. Anyway, the next one. Cheers.